Welcome to Connect Happy Valley, first ever sports segment. And we have Chris Buchignani.
Thank you, Greg. Thanks for having me. What an inauspicious start to have me as your first guest on this segment, but I appreciate it.
I want you to be the host, but you could call yourself a guest.
Host. How's that?
Oh, there you go.
That's what I do best, fake hosting. Best way to jump in, I guess, is with both feet. And as you know, I love what you're doing with your site because you, like me, are almost foolishly in love with this place, with Penn State, with the Nittany Valley, with what it is to be in this wonderful little town in a central Pennsylvania valley that built up from cornfields and cow pastures around a land-grant university. Pretty awesome. And so when you asked me to come help you pilot this series, I thought, why not?
Well, and I wanted to put the Booch signal or the bat signal out in the sky to call you in because, yes, I am in love with Happy Valley. It's the greatest place to live, work, and play. But in the next month, sports and the draw of it for all of us to attend some amazing events. I asked you to come in and just talk quickly about the inflection point and the confluence of things that has these major events right here in our backyard.
And so obviously football is the main draw for that. I love football. I do a football show. I teach a Penn State football history class. So I'm all in on Penn State football. But the winter sports season is great. I don't know if there's ever been better, basketball notwithstanding, than it is right now. I mean, Cale Sanderson has built this incredible machine with Penn State wrestling. And I didn't know jack squat about collegiate wrestling 8 or 9 years ago. And it occurred to me that there was a John Wooden at UCLA level run happening a stone's throw from my doorstep. I better learn about this sport a little bit just so I can appreciate it and say I was there. And now there's just this unstoppable juggernaut. We got the number one team in the country again. We're coming off 2 years of record-setting national championship performances that may be exceeded again this year. And next season's lineup looks like it could be more dangerous than this year's. And on top of all that, we're hosting the Big Ten championships here at the Bryce Jordan Center, which is going to be one of the hottest tickets we've seen in town forever. But on top of it, it's Hockey Valley, right? We are the only university in America with top 5 programs in men's and women's hockey right now. In fact, Tessa Janicki, our star player, just became Penn State's first gold medal winning Winter Olympian with the women's team, between Gavin McKenna, who's going to be the number 1 pick in the NHL draft, and the 5th ranked men's team, the women's team ranked number 3 in the women's Frozen Four happening here. And even men's and women's lacrosse are off to good starts. The men's team has a really exciting young freshman goalie who's going to have his ups and downs. Obviously, you put a freshman into that position. Can you imagine being a lacrosse goalie, by the way? I can get you've got all the gear in net for hockey, right? You get the stick and the blocker and the pads and the glove. You're in that lacrosse goal and you're trying to stop that little, because it's smaller than a baseball and it's coming at you at high speed. So the kid's going to have some off days, but he's also going to do spectacular things, like when they just upset the 7th ranked team in the country, and you get to watch that growth arc over the course of the season. And softball's out of the gate super strong. I think that what Mike Gambino's doing with the baseball team is exciting. And as we get into the warmer months and they have those dollar hot dog days and they pack Medlar Field with undergrads, it's a really cool environment. And this is all 10 minutes from our door, Greg. And Can you believe it? Pinch me. So as you know, I have never left. Stepped foot on campus as a true freshman, summer of 1997, and I was in my happy place, so why leave, right? And I realized, as my friends from cities would come in, that it was not a bad place to be mocked for how little crime, pollution, and traffic there was where I lived. And one of the other benefits that I have found living here, as I think of it as a place that pivoted from what are you doing stuck there to how in the world can I get back to where you are, is that you have natural beauty, outdoor recreation everywhere you look. You've got all the intellectual and academic and scholarly stimulation you could want. You can see Broadway musicals that come through touring. You can see national acts at the Bryce Jordan Center. And you've got some of the best intercollegiate sports in the country. And you can get to and from your doorstep within 15 to 20 minutes.